Hey guys, what's going on? It's Coach Ben from Online Soccer Skills, and in today's video I'm going to be breaking down Antoine Griezmann, and we're going to be showing you why he did so well in the Euros and why I think he's going to be one of the best players in the world coming up. And I'm going to be breaking down 4 aspects of his game that you can use. That way when you get to the game, you can start to play like him, have more confidence, have more skill, and score more goals. Alright, so let's get into the first tip. The first thing that I noticed when I watched the Euros that really stuck out in my mind was when the midfielders have the ball, Griezmann is making constant movement off the ball. And this is something that's really key. He's able to receive a ball into the open spaces where he's able to attack. And this is something I tell every forward. If you're standing stagnant, if you're not moving, then it's easy for the defenders to close you down on your first touch. But if you're making constant runs off the ball, it's easier for your midfielders to find you in the open space. And this is what he's so good at. He's not just going to be standing with the defender on his back. He's going to be making runs, diagonal runs across the field, runs over the top. And this way it's so much easier for his midfielders to find him on the run rather than him receiving the ball at his feet with the defender right behind him. If you watch France close, you will notice that Giroud, their tall forward, he's the player who can hold the ball up. And he's great at doing that because he can use his size. Griezmann is smaller, so he has to make more runs off the ball. So depending on what role you play on your team, this is what you need to do. If you're a bigger, taller forward, then you should be the player who's holding the ball up. And if you're smaller, if you need to find open spaces, then that's what you need to do. All right, the next thing that I want to talk about is Griezmann's first touch. And any professional out there is going to have a great first touch, but I think the thing that separates him from most players is his ability to play out of pressure. So I just talked about the example of him finding open spaces, but I saw so many times when he's making a run in a space and defenders are closing him down, and his first touch is putting him out of pressure. And this is what you have to do if you want to be an elite forward, is have a great first touch and be able to control the ball out of the air. Any hard ball that's coming down on the ground, you have to have a perfect first touch to play into an open space. This is going to allow you to play out of pressure. This way you don't get nervous when there's multiple defenders that are trying to guard you and take the ball away from you. So having a good first touch, it's going to allow you to do everything else in soccer. And I say this in other videos, if you're not practicing your first touch, if you're just practicing fancy skills or you're doing things that aren't relevant to the actual game, then that's not going to help you. But if you're practicing your first touch, if you go through our videos, we have probably 20 or 30 videos to talk about your first touch where you can do drills and have a better first touch. That way when you get to the game, you know you're comfortable. But Griezmann, his first touch is flawless. And when you watch him, you'll see when he's under pressure, his first touch is going to put him into that open space. Along with the first touch, Griezmann is playing fast. So sometimes the ball will come to his feet and he's looking to play in one touch and then move again. And this is something that you need to do if you're under pressure, and even if you find the open space. A lot of times defenders are going to try to outmuscle you, try to get to the ball first. And what you need to do is look for an open teammate, play the ball and then get it again. And this is what he's so good at that you can just copy. This is something that any player can do, is look to play in one touch, move again, and get the ball at your feet. This way you can attack. All right, before we get to the next tip, the thing I want to talk about is when Griezmann was younger, he was kind of looked down on by his coaches in France, and they said he was too small, too skinny, not strong enough to play at that level. And what he did was he moved to Spain, and that's where he really started to begin his career, and that's when he started to flourish. And he went from playing in France, where he was looked down upon, to now he's in Spain, and he's one of the superstars there. He's one of the best players, and a lot of it's because of the style of play. And this is something that I know a lot of players struggle with. If they get cut from a team, they don't know that they can use their strengths in a different league or in a different team that they could try out for. And this is something that I feel like he had to kind of go through when he was younger, is he wasn't the best player and he wasn't looked at as one of the top players in France, but he moved to a different country, to a different team, and this way he could flourish with the new team and kind of rebuild his career at a young age. And this is something that if you ever struggle with, if you ever get cut from a team, just go to a new team, go try out for a different team, play in a different league, and you'll see maybe your strengths are better suited on a different team than the current team that you were on. All right, the next tip I want to talk about that Griezmann and his team in Spain, Atletico Madrid, are really good at. And what that is counterattacking. And if you don't know what counterattacking is, basically what that means is when the other team has the ball, when they're pressing up the field, when your team is on defense, when your team wins the ball, you can catch the other team off guard. And Griezmann is really good at this because what he'll do is he will push himself high up the field. So he's playing on one of the last defenders. So when his team wins the ball, they can play him a ball and he's into an open space playing against less defenders. Rather than having to play against 2 or 3 defenders, he can probably just play against 1. So counterattacking is really key in soccer. And if your team is really good at that, then you'll have a lot more goal scoring opportunities when the other team is looking to press you when you're on defense. So you want to try to find the open spaces. This is what I talked about earlier that he's so good at. He's finding the open spaces to receive the ball so he's not under pressure. But you want to be able to receive the ball and play quick. So a lot of times during the Euros, especially in the Euros, when he's playing with France, he's making 30, 40-yard runs with the ball into the open space and they're pressing quick. They can make 2 or 3 passes and then have a goal-scoring opportunity if they're really good at counterattacking. But when you watch him play with Atletico Madrid, this is what their team is so good at. They're very defensive-minded when they are on defense, when the other team is pressing them, but they will win the ball quick, play it to a forward or play it to a midfielder, and then they'll transition fast. And Griezmann is one of the role players. When that happens, he's going to be on the ball. They're going to be trying to look for him because they know they can use his speed to transition very fast up the field. All right, the final tip I want to talk about that Griezmann does so well is his ability to position himself to score more goals. And if you watched our video a couple weeks ago, I broke down the move that Paul Pogba did when they played against Germany. And the player who came and scored that goal was Griezmann. He put himself in the right position to finish. And this is something that I see players who are smaller, they're not willing to do. They're not willing to get in the box. And because they might be afraid to win balls out of the air, or they're just not trying to be physical enough to go win the ball. And Griezmann, he doesn't care about that. He's going to get in the box. You'll see him a lot of times, he'll be scoring headers, volleys, but a lot of his goals are coming inside the box. And this is really key. I know lots of players out there are searching for free kick tutorials and things like that, and they want to practice free kicks. And that's great. You can practice free kicks. I like doing that. I think it can be a great skill to learn, but that's only going to be something that you might do once or twice a game. Maybe you won't even have any free kick opportunities during the game. But what I want you to do is start to practice drills and look to work on finishing inside the box. Because if you're putting yourself in that position, you're going to score more goals. There's lots of times where players are shooting, the keeper's going to stop it and it might roll out 2 or 3 yards. Griezmann will be first to finish. He'll be looking to get himself inside the box. And a lot of this comes from just having the scrappy nature of being a forward who wants to score. And if you want to score a lot of goals, you need to put yourself in the position to where you can score as many goals as possible. And the more you're inside the box, the closer you are to the goal, the greater chance you have to score. So you want to always look to put yourself in that position where you can get into the box. When your teammates are crossing the ball, it should be you. You should be first to the ball who's going to win it to take shots on goal. All right, one last bonus tip before we go is when you watch Griezmann, when he has the ball, he's looking to attack and get the ball on his left foot. And he does that because he's a left-footed player and his left foot shot is lethal. He has so much power behind his shot. And he has this because I'm sure he's practiced hours and hours and hours striking the ball with his left foot. And the great thing about his game is he could do the same with his right foot. His right foot is very strong as well, but he's looking to play to his strength. So when he's taking on defenders, he's looking to push the ball by them and get the ball out in front of himself on his left foot. This way, he knows he has the greatest chance to score. And you might be a right-footed player, so you might be wanting to push the ball out on your right side. But what I say in all the videos where we talk about shooting, you have to be a player who is balanced. If you know you can attack someone and go right every time. The older you get, defenders are gonna be able to figure that out. So if you know that you can go right or left and you have power shooting with both feet, then you're gonna score more goals. If you like today's video, do us a favor and click the thumbs up button. And I want you to comment below with anything that you need in the future. So if you want more drills, if you want more pro player breakdowns, if you want more skills that you want to learn, shoot us a comment below and let us know what you want. This way we can create all the new videos for you that are specific for you and your game in the future. Now, if you are brand new to our channel, I want you to do two things today. I want you to click the subscribe button. We have new videos that come out every Monday and Thursday at 9 a.m. So I want you to stay updated with everything that we're doing. So just click that subscribe button below. The second thing I want you to do is click on this video here. If you want to become a serious player, we just finished creating our elite skills session. It's free, so I want you to do is just click on that video there. You're gonna be taken to a page. All you need to do is just enter in your email address, and I'm gonna personally email you our highest level skills workout. If you're on any mobile device, you can't click on that there. Just go to the first link in the description. It's OnlineSoccerSkills.com/free training and be taken to the same page. All right, I'll see you next video.